But does he add distortion? Does he add the same growl that so many metal singers do on those high notes? Because in fact, it's like physically easier on the voice to do that. You tell me.
Hey, real quick, I just want to welcome you to the Big Brain Singer channel, where singers and music lovers come together. I'm Charlie, and my goal is to share my knowledge of singing and love of music with as many people as possible. If you want to be the first to experience reactions just like this one, please join us on Twitch, links down below, Monday, Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you yourself are an aspiring singer and want a mini voice lesson from me, I hold a free and open vocal clinic every Friday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern as well. So make sure to join our community Discord server. Links are also down below. To join hundreds of music lovers like yourself and to stay updated on community events. I hope to see you there, and I hope you enjoy this reaction and analysis.
All right, guys. So I figured we should just jump in with how do ghosts work live? Now, this was actually a request from a tip at the end of last stream for by Anonymous. So I don't even know who it was, and if you're here, yeah. Cape Town, South Africa. EU time zone, that makes sense, but welcome. All right, guys. Dutch viewer gang. We should make a Dutch viewer, like a Dutch viewer role in the Discord at some point. That would be sweet. But anyway, guys, I'm working on a little bit more of a minimal setup. So I have one monitor as opposed to two, and let's just see how it goes. All right, let's do it. All right, without further ado, how do ghosts work? Oh, there we are. What's the drawing on the bottom?
Through my kitchen window, ominous and wispy, frozen like, and I don't know if it knew that I was watching as it helped itself to all the food in sight.
So, of what I know, this is Mike Mills according to Swapsy, and I know that Mike Mills has a fantastically versatile vocal range. Now, we're getting a really nice, very like gritty mid voice right now. I'm excited to hear where that goes. But for now, he's given us that real sound.
Ominous and wispy, frozen like, and I don't know if it
draws me here. That's amazing. I'm gonna see if I can move my camera a little bit.
As it helped itself to all the food in sight, gluttonously cramming things into its gullet. But it passed through my kitchen window there, alright. And I could hear its dragging chains across the floorboards. How were they not just falling through the other side? How do ghosts work? Do they know their matter incontinence? Do they know we're there when they pass through us? Are we helpless to their immortal sons? I think that I am decent.
Yeah, that is such an easy switch for him to go up into that belt from like a low place, and it's a clean belt too. I love that he, that's a clean sound that cuts straight through the sound of like the guitar and the drums. Like it doesn't mesh with any of the other instruments he has going on. And so, yeah, so he did the layering, right? He did the layering on the day the world breaks down. I remember that, and that was amazing. He played the robot, telling us, to get out because humanity's about to be exterminated. The world's about to end, right? And yeah, so I mean, just hear how easy. So what stands about Mike Mills to me in all the the several situations I've heard him is not that his range is super wide, because his range is super wide, but it's like it's effortless. Yeah, Darren, that's a great way of putting it. It's a serious 80s voice. And what stands out about 80s singers is that their voice is rooted in a technique. And you'll notice this with someone like, was it Dio? Yeah, we listened to Dio the other day, and there is like a serious like classical. I'm not saying like classical like opera, but there's a traditional vocal technique in all of these singers' voices that allows for a certain type of ease and facility, and it doesn't give us the same like grittiness or impact of like emotional vocal disability, which is when we hear damage in the voice. It doesn't give us that, which has its own merits in certain situations. But what it does give us is this like super composed performance. Super, super awesome. It gives us this super like it's like you hear Mike Mills and you're like, this guy's got it, no question. I like the muffin.
I think that I am decent. I feel the people think I'm good and nice.
Now, can you please fix those timers?
And I stand up for myself and I know I'm right. Why does this feeling that I'm awful flood my body? Such haunting thoughts of shame and guilt, but why? Swear to you, I'll try harder tomorrow. Will you spare me out these hellish taunts tonight?
See, now you only see him putting in effort when he opens up and adds a little grit. But those clean high vocals, so easy. Hi, Lanito, good to see you. Swapsy, there's a fantastic documentary about the making of The Source, which is the album the day. Oh, that's the Ayreon album that Aryan was blown away by his skills and the production and the ideas of layering. Right. So layering is something we see it all over YouTube, right? But when it's done well, it's super impressive. This guy has a timbre that blends. It can blend with itself. It's not a super complex sound that will get like washed away. And it's the perfect sound for adding things on. Admiral Bill Adamo, good morning from Sweden. Good day, good day, good day. Lenito, I'm good. We're back in New York for a little bit, just for the holidays through the new year, but I'm glad I can keep this up from here. Kiab, if I'm up for something completely different that you've not seen any reactors do yet, you can give us. Feel free to suggest. That's always that's always an option here. I really don't do things based on what other people do. I do things based on what you guys want to see. So I'm happy to do whatever you guys suggest. Anyway, let's keep listening to Mike.
Why bombard us with all these thoughts at once? How do ghosts work? Do they know they lack consistency? Or do they think they're not our enemy? Or do they only go after men like me?
So I didn't even think about this, but I'm assuming he's playing all of the parts. Yeah, Trinks, I'm going to get my handstand out. I'll set up the camera right so you can see everything. Guys, feel free to give points to each other. I think, the bottleneck we put in place was that you can only have one reaction suggestion in the queue at once. But once we get through your next, your suggestion, then you can do another one. But you can add points. I think if you check out the commands here, then you can absolutely, there's one command that allows you to give points to people. If that's only a mod command, I can change that at some point, or Tau can change that too, or Creeper can change that, or Lanito. But we're slowly working out the kinks. Is Mike playing all of these parts? Because that's nuts. Trinks, I love that idea. I love that idea. You just got me so excited.
It's not me, it's him.
Hi, Nocturne.
You seem quite upset. just try to forget. Oh, it said I'm not anything, I'm not even here. It's all you in there, it's on you, it said.
Forkless, I have 2 of them.
It's on you. How do ghosts work? Do they know the power they have over us? Spinning days to weeks, yet years
So
to
has anyone ever seen him perform live? Mike, because I want to know how tall he is. I want to know so before anyone says anything, I'm guessing that he's a shorter, more wide man. I kind of got an idea from when we watched The Day That the World Ends, but his sound and the ease he has gives an idea that he is shorter, right? Everybody Dies. Yeah, so Cosmic, we did see Everybody Dies. So what I'm saying is like, yeah, but like that was just one idea of him, you know? Because the sound he's making and the ease he's creating shows that he's so in his body. And if you notice singers, especially male singers who are shorter and have like a wider body, they have more control over their airflow. So they can use a lot of air without being like what I would say like top heavy, you know? So that's one of the reasons why everything he sings is so powerful and yet easy. You don't see much strain on his face at all. It's super, super facile, easy, and it's part of his like natural body. Yeah, we watched Everybody Dies, but he was like wearing a costume, so I don't know. And if I had a whole body shot here, it would be a much easier way of defining that. But just so you know, like that's just one way that the anatomy plays into how someone's voice works.
How do ghosts work? Do they know the power they have over us? Spinning days to weeks, yet years to months. Why bombard us with all these thoughts at once? How do ghosts work? Do they know that matter in consonants? Do they know?
And notice how his voice is literally just going from his mouth is literally going from a smile to a not a smile. There's nothing else pinched or anything. He's gritting with his forehead a little bit, probably just to add a little bit of that grind into the sound. But right there, it's just a smile or not a smile. That's how he creates the space that gives us that awesome color in his sound.
Are we helpless to their immortal stars? Well, how do ghosts work? Do they know they lack consistency? Do they think they're not our enemy? Or do they only go after men like me?
On that last note, let's just look at how he changes the sound. He goes from me and just watch his face there. I love this shot because we see everything. I want to zoom in that little drawing in the corner. Watch this.
Well, how do ghosts work? Do they know they lack consistency? Do they think they're not our enemy? Or do they only go after men like me?
Yes, Lenito. But it's not even that simple, Lenito. Like he's moving his lips up and down, but he's also showing his teeth to add a different like color of resonance, so he can bring the sound back in his mouth, but show his teeth to add like a similar ring to keep the sound consistent. So while he's going from He's showing his top teeth that allows it to resonate. So remember, when you're making vowels like O and like dark back vowels, you can keep the sound forward and not lose it by showing your top teeth and opening those resonators. The teeth is just a visual way of doing it. You can also feel the sound, it buzz in your face more as you bring that vowel back by adding that buzz, that feeling of buzz forward. That's what he's doing. He's keeping the sound forward consistent with his like really nice timbre that we like to hear by adding resonance as the vowel comes back through a function of the voice, right? Okay. Another thing I love about his singing is how completely relaxed and forward his tongue is, right? That's why it's able to be so like powerful, and he can add grit where he wants to, like just then, and he can just like do it without like flinching anything. It doesn't take any effort. His tongue is forward. Everything is removed from the voice. The voice can just move freely, and he can just make that awesome sound. You know what's impressive about that? So one thing I've been realizing, as a singer, I've been exploring, as a singer and a voice teacher who's been, learning about more metal singers in the past couple weeks with you guys, I've been exploring like the function of how like distortion works and how distortion. So what distortion does is when you bring the false folds together, you add that it actually works as a way of diffusing the pressure between the larynx, between the vocal folds, and like everything above it. So I tell a lot of you guys who come here to sing to do lip trills. It's one of my favorite exercises that kind of takes care of a lot of things. And then that's like this. It's like, right? You vibrate your lips and it takes pressure off of the voice. I promise you guys this is coming full circle. Adding distortion with the false folds, which are just flaps of skin above the vocal cords that can make sound similar to the vocal cords. By adding distortion, you're actually doing the same thing essentially that lip trills is doing. You're diffusing the pressure, because what lip trills do is diffuses the pressure between the larynx, between the vocal cords and the lips. So basically, if I'm talking like this, I'm putting all of my vocal pressure and air pressure here on the voice. If I do the lip trill, it takes the pressure from the voice and splits it between the lips, which that buzz, and the vocal folds, which essentially work with a buzz as well. They have a laryngeal buzz, and that's where your sound comes from for your voice. Now, when you add the occlusion, the bringing together of the false chords above the vocal cords, you're actually adding another level of pressure distribution. So when I sing like this, that's one way of doing it, and that's a lot of pressure on the voice, especially the way I'm singing it like there. That's like a very just like pressurized sound. Now, when I add the distortion, I'm actually taking pressure away from the actual vocal cords and splitting that pressure between the false folds above the larynx and the vocal cords. So it's actually easier to sing high with distortion than it is to sing high without distortion. Now let's listen back to what Mike does, understanding that it's easier to add distortion on those high notes. But does he add distortion? Does he add the same growl that so many metal singers do on those high notes? Because in fact, it's like physically easier on the voice to do that. You tell me. That's clean. That's clean as hell, man. That's high. You've heard so many singers sing those notes. It's in this style, in this genre of singing. You've heard so many singers sing those notes with distortion. And what Mike does that a lot of people don't do is he just uses that pure, clean voice, which is a lot harder to do on the vocal folds themselves. Now, it's a level of coordination to add. It's a different level of coordination to add distortion and that growl. But with that being said, you know, I mean, every level of virtuosic singing has something difficult to it. But for Mike specifically doing this in this style, in this way, on those pitches, it's incredibly impressive for that reason. One more time, just pay attention to that. Cool drawing. What's up, Fox? Good to see you. Good morning. Wow, guys. I already learned how to growl like Floor. Leba, I mean, look, vocal technique, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Your voice needs to work through air. Your voice needs air and muscular coordination. Now, I've spent a lot of time working on my own technique for opera singing using air and muscular coordination. So then my ability to use muscular coordination and air simultaneously is higher. So if you've been singing for any length of time, you're going to get better at using muscular coordination. Oh, man. Maybe I shouldn't do morning streams. So much phlegm to cough up. That being said, guys, so for me, it's just a matter of figuring out which muscles create the growl or the scream sound and how to do that without feeling too much muscular like tension. So when I'm doing it, I'm trying my best just to engage those false fold muscles that are just right above the voice without doing anything extra to hinder the actual voice itself.
Wow, you're still here. If you did enjoy the video, I want to invite you to check out my Patreon page where I offer multiple tiers of perks for both aspiring singers as well as music lovers who want to take their listening skills to the next level. Also, I do need to say it, like 90% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed to the channel. It really doesn't take much. Can you please just press the little button down there? If you made it this far, you probably fit in right with the rest of the people who are the Big Brain community. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.